When I'm not legit hallucinating because my air conditioning is broke and it's Florida. I like to answer questions that I get on YouTube, so let's get to it. Sean, I just saw you liked one of Poppy's Instagram videos. What are your thoughts on her and her new album, Poppy.Computer? I have very complicated thoughts on Poppy. If you don't know who Poppy is, she's it's this girl who's kind of big on YouTube that I can't even explain. You just have to go see it for yourself. I'll link it. It's like this weird, futuristic, half woman, half machine lady that kind of just is really strange. And there's always this like kind of like eerie background music always playing. And it's kind of fantastic. I have to admit that I kind of had a little crush on Poppy at first. And definitely from the weirdest, most bizarre depths of my heart. But she released an album called Poppy.Computer, which I'm not on board with the album. I'm all about Poppy. I like the Poppy YouTube videos, the Poppy Instagram posts. The album is like super kind of modern pop that doesn't really vibe with the whole Poppy atmosphere. Like, there's this one really great YouTube video where Poppy interviews a tree, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good stuff. So if you don't know Poppy, check Poppy out. You'll be glad you did. How do musicians remember songs? I barely remember what I did an hour ago. This is actually a really good question because I remember like even just seeing like restaurant musicians who are playing sets without like an iPad or any kind of music in front of them. It's like, how do you remember all the chord changes for all those songs? And I have to say from personal experience, now that I did it, I've been doing it for a while. With Allie, we've been doing these gigs, and we have like 50 songs probably that we do. And at first I was like, God, how am I gonna remember 50 songs? But eventually, your ear improves, and it's not so much remembering songs, it's remembering progressions, and you kind of like chunk them together. I know that that's just kind of like an important tool when it comes to remembering anything. You just kind of get in the motion of doing it, and eventually it's like, it just becomes a chain reaction of chords as far as like how you kind of remember how things go. And it's also helped me like learn songs with ease. Like, it's just a skill that you develop. So even if it's daunting, it's like, how am I gonna remember how to play all these songs? Even if they're your own songs, which trust me, is like its own thing. Like I had trouble even remembering my own songs for a while. But if you just do it, I definitely think that that's one of the most valuable things you can do as a musician is always be learning new stuff because you're just training your brain to kind of recognize patterns and chord progressions, even if you're not thinking of the theory, like, oh, this is a 1-4-5 or something like that. Your mind just kind of adapts to it. Your ear is much more prone to being able to recognize like a C to a G to an A minor without even having to kind of like consciously think about it. So something I am a big advocate of, always be learning new stuff. And really beyond music, this is just like a good way to keep your brain sharp. So, you know, it's one of those things that I didn't really understand until I did it, but if I can do it, I promise you, you can do it. So keep learning new stuff. When did you learn to sing, and where did you start? Can you show us before and after of your singing abilities? You know what's funny? When I was a little kid, I was naturally like a very good singer. Like pre-pubescent Sean had like the voice of an angel. And then I remember by the time I started playing guitar, I was like, well, all right, maybe I can try to like sing and play at the same time. It was awful. It was absolutely awful, painful. Sadly, I think I've destroyed most of the recordings from back then. If I do end up finding one, I have to go like real deep into like old hard drives to find something. Maybe I'll try to like post kind of like a comparison video because it has gotten a lot better. But as far as learning to sing, I did do like a Brett Manning class. I know he's kind of like one of those bigger kind of singing teacher things, and it's all about just singing the major scale, doing like intervals like a 1 3 5 8 5 3 1, and kind of just training your vocal cords to be on pitch. So again, by no means am I the greatest singer in the world, but I definitely feel like at this point I can keep it down in like a rock context. So it's something that I just saw myself improve the more I did it. Just like anything else, you put the work into it. Absolutely anybody can do it. It's just training your vocal cords to kind of match pitch, and then use your own creativity to kind of do your thing. So don't be deterred. If I can do it, anybody can do it. So keep doing your thing, and I will try to, if I do find something, I'll post it. This pisses me off. How did you not make the list of top 100 guitar YouTube channels? Furthermore, how did the creepy Marty shorts get on the list twice? Furthermore, why are there only 80 channels listed? What the Hans de Fruco is going on? Now this is the ultimate disrespect, isn't it? Not only did I not make the top 100 YouTube guitar channels. They couldn't even find 100 channels to populate the list. So, you know, I'd hate to say it, but I've lost a lot of sleep over not getting on this YouTube blog. But, you know, at least I can have the solace that Stitch didn't make it either. So, next week I'm definitely going to be gunning for that list. So hopefully, you know, the word spreads by then. I've been meaning to get around to unsubscribing to this arrogant, boring goofball for a while now. Seems like a good time. No time like the present, my man. Do what you gotta do. By the way, Bill Dan, absolutely never trust a guy with 2 first names. So for listening homework this week, I'm going to link you to my favorite track off the new Beck album, which is absolutely phenomenal. I've been a Beck fan for a long time. I think this is he's one of those artists that has managed to stay relevant over a long period of time by evolving and doing different sounds. I've not always been on board with the decisions he's made, but I've always been supportive of his artistry. I think this is a great step in a new direction. He's working with Greg Kurstin, who is also the man. So if you like this, definitely check out more of his stuff too. And if you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comments section, Instagram, Twitter, or the website, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot.